Good evening, I'm Diana Jones. Do you remember what you were doing 15 years ago? It was 1978, and the Camp David Accord was signed between Israel and Egypt. The Shah of Iran was overthrown. Here in America, 1978 was the year of the big blizzard that brought the Northeast to a standstill under weeks of snow. The big movies of the year were as diverse as Animal House and Midnight Express, while television was bringing us all the thrills of Battlestar Galactica and the laughs of sitcoms like Three's Company. And close to home, the Valley News was selling for 15 cents. 1978 was also the year when we in northern New England experienced the birth of the area's first full-power television station. Today, WNNE, whose call letters are an acronym for Northern New England, still remains the only broadcast television station to service the entire Connecticut River Valley. The signal from our transmitter atop 3,100-foot Mount Ascutney reaches 500,000 viewers in the Twin State area, from Woodsville, New Hampshire to Greenfield, Massachusetts. From the Green Mountains to the Whites, WNNE TV serves a uniquely beautiful set of communities. But things weren't always so ambitious here at TV 31. An early effort at local television, WRLH, a low-power black and white station with a transmitter atop Crafts Hill in Lebanon, survived only 2 years in the early 70s. But when Paul Taft of Taft Communications in Houston acquired the license in 1977, a lot of major details had to be worked out. Here are two employees who were there at the start to talk about their experiences. Bill Loftus, the station's first general manager, and Jane Harrigan, the first salesperson.
We began the station in 1978, and I was responsible for actually most of the initial construction, supervising the consolidation facilities on Mount Ascutney, making sure we got on the air and hiring initial staff, doing the initial budgets. Well, actually, it turned out the biggest problem was that we'd originally planned to put the transmitter on Hurricane Hill, and about, I guess, 4 months before we were going to start operations, Mount Ascutney became available as a transmitter site. So we had to scramble, and in about a 6 to 8 week period, we got a modification of the license from the FCC. We got the Ascutney Trails Association, the Vermont Department of Forests and Parks, the town of West Windsor, and there may have been other entities, but we had to get all those behind the move to consolidate the facilities on Mount Ascutney. And so I was shuttling between Washington and Houston and here, getting all that. We had to get an Act 250 permit. Incredible. I mean, I was on the road constantly. Sometimes I didn't know which plane I was on because we were just scrambling trying to get things going. So we'd hired a construction firm, and I won't name the construction firm, but it was going very slowly. So I decided one Saturday I would take the entire staff that we had hired up to the mountain and help put the building together. It was going too slow. We wanted to get on the air. We'd hired all these people, and they had not very much to do. So we went up and did that, and the construction contractor got offended because he thought we were questioning his integrity by doing that. So the day he was supposed to put the antenna on top of the tower, I got a call from Jim Monahan who said, "I can't find the antenna." And so he started searching around and found out this guy had taken the antenna and hidden it. And then he went to the Superior Court and got rid of attachment saying that we hadn't fulfilled the contract and we were going to take all of our equipment and go back to Texas with it, and got rid of attachment. So we had to, but fortunately we knew where the antenna was, so we went ahead and put it on, but it was a little sweaty there for a while. We didn't know exactly what was going on.
When I first started there too, we weren't even on the air, and I was out trying to sell airtime. When I went there in July, Charlie Webb and I worked pretty close together. Charlie used to do up the avails with the demographics and the pricing on it, and it was so funny to go out and sell the Today Show at $10 a spot and for a 30-second ad, and it was even stranger to sell our local news at $35 a spot. And it was just so odd to be talking to people and convincing them that yes, we are going to be going on the air, and yes, your ads are going to go out over the airwaves and live in color and so on and so forth. But when we went on the air that night, I think we had something like 80 some odd clients that started off with us, and I just couldn't believe it. Nobody believed that we were going to have a television station in the area because there had been a previous TV station which didn't last too long. And everybody that I went to always asked me the question, well, are you the old 31? And I said, no. Well, everybody had said, well, we'll see how long this TV station lasts. And as it was, you know, I'm 15 years later, and we're still here.
Our transmitting antenna, chosen especially because of the unique nature of our local terrain, had to be helicoptered into a location that even today is reachable in winter only by snowmobile and snowshoe. But as we all know, expensive equipment and new technologies are only tools. Like any business, television needs a product and the people to make it work. Our product is, quite simply, information and entertainment. For 15 years, WNNE has brought you the best NBC shows like St. Elsewhere, Hill Street Blues, and Family Ties. And for several of the past years, we've brought you Red Sox and Celtics games live. But 2 times a day, we've also brought you news of the world and the nation, and more importantly, news of the local area. And there have been many special public affairs shows: Kaleidoscope, Close to Home, 31 Main Street, Newscope, and 31 Up Close, all intended to keep you informed and entertained. And over these past 15 years, there have been many names and faces that have brought home to you in the most personal way the events that have shaped our area. Some of these faces have moved to other TV stations in other parts of the country, while others have moved into different careers. One has even gone on to become general manager of a Fox affiliate in Florida. Here's former news anchor Mike Harding.
I've been asked to reminisce on a special anecdote from my WNNE days. I guess the one that quickly comes to mind is something I said on the air one evening. Some of you may remember when Penny Clifford did the weather for the station, and at the end of her first of 2 weather segments during each newscast, Penny and I would usually chit-chat back and forth before I went on to more news stories of the day. One night, Penny was wrapping up her gardening tip of the day, which was on wild oats in the field. She concluded her remarks by asking me if I had sown any wild oats recently. Well, retorting with the first thing that came to mind, I said, "Yes, Penny, but not in the field." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Penny, now off camera, completely breaking up on the set. She was turning red in the face, trying to keep from laughing out loud because we were still on the air. And I'm trying to figure out what it was that I said that was just so funny. Well, we finally get into the commercial break, and I thought that that newscast was one that we would never see 6:30 arrive. I thought we would never get through that newscast with a straight face, and poor Rick Carley had to come on afterwards and try to do the sports without too much hilarity going on in the background. Congratulations to WNNE on its 15th anniversary. And congratulations to the businesses and the viewers of the Connecticut River Valley who helped prove that the area was indeed ready for its own television station.
Thanks, Mike. When we return, we'll reintroduce you to some other familiar faces, and then Tom Hoyt will go behind the scenes to introduce you to the people you don't see on the air, the people who continue to make WNNE TV a special place. We'll be right back.
Frustrating moments, but that's, I think, the nature of television, and it was a great place to meet a lot of people for whom I still consider to be my best friends, many of them still in TV, but not all of them, and it was just a really wonderful period in my life to learn about this business that I really love still, and I think that love affair began at TV 31, a place where if the common phrase was, if you can do it here, you can do it anywhere.
Tomorrow and Sunday, gone fishing. Beautiful, hazy, warm weather. Get out there and just...
Excuse me, John. I have 15 years experience in you, so I'll take over. Hi, I'm John Yakvone, the original weather person on WNNE. Well, look at today's map. It looks like a cold front's coming through, a little rain tonight, and then clearing by tomorrow. The weather information came from New England Weather Service via the original fax system. We had a fax back then. And then I took that information and we formed a weather net with ham radio operators throughout the Upper Valley, which I understand is still in operation, and people like Clyde up in Fairleigh and some other people down at Mount Holly, all over the place. And we got information off the teletype, the AP teletype, and we put that together, and I just kind of knew the weather from Bill Hovey, wrote it on the board, and I ad-libbed a lot of my personal things, which was kind of fun to do.
Thank you, John. As we are all painfully aware this time of year, as the days become shorter and there is the first promise of chilly nights, weather has always been a major factor in the lives of all of us who have chosen to make northern New England our home. Weather reporters, here more than in other parts of the country, continue to be venerated one day only to be reviled the next. They receive the kudos or the blame for conditions that are ultimately beyond the control of any of us or our machines. Our own Tom Hoyt is standing by to bring you a behind-the-scenes tour of WNNE as it is today. Tom.
Thanks, Diana. We're outside of our studios in White River Junction. If you've traveled Interstates 91 or Interstates 89 or right at the intersection, you may have seen some of these satellite dishes in the background that you see now. Well, that's where our studios are as part of the Holiday Inn complex in White River Junction. 6 large satellite dishes. Boy, just a few years ago, they almost seemed like they were kind of a present to us. Now they're more than a necessity. 3 of these are direct network uplinks to our network, NBC. If anything's up in space, we can bring it down. And in fact, with the use of our satellite truck and these satellite dishes, we can be just about anywhere in the world live at a moment's notice. A lot of the technology, though, would mean nothing without the people at TV 31. Why don't we go inside now and meet them up close? That's what the outside of our building looks like. Now let's take a look at what the inside of TV 31 is all about. This is our lobby and reception area. Some of the pictures, the News 31 team here on the wall, as well as some of the awards that we've run over the years. So let's see what Gary has to say for us. Gary Oshiak, local sales manager. So, Gary, I guess it's pretty straightforward. You handle things as far as sales are concerned on the local level. Gary, a small station like this one in White River Junction, I got to imagine there's times when maybe the salespeople do things other than sales?
Oh, definitely. The salespeople here do everything from writing scripts to helping shoot commercials, and there was a period of time when the sales department helped out running cameras for the newscasts at noon and 6. So it's one of the nice things about working in a small station like this. You get to learn every aspect of the business, and I think it helps you when you're out selling the product.
Gary, thanks for taking time out of your schedule.
Thank you, Tom, and see you on the weather.
Will do. Now let's go on and meet a few of the other folks who work here at TV 31. Come on. And as we come back through our lobby and past the conference room, the first office on the left as we head down the back hallway here at TV 31 is that of our traffic manager, Kim Cotton. You might think traffic manager, is Kim the person that's responsible for telling us about that traffic backup on Interstate 89? Well, no, that's not really the case. Kim, what exactly does a traffic manager do?
Well, instead of trafficking like cars or that kind of thing, you traffic commercials. And you make sure that they get placed in the right spot that the client ordered. And I also make sure that people get pretty good placement, and so their spots run in good spots in prime viewing time.
Well, Kim, thanks very much for taking time out of your busy day, and now we're going to continue with our tour as we celebrate TV 31's 15th anniversary. And as we continue our tour of TV 31, time to talk with our production department. Jeff Pierce, our promotions director, Keith Swan, production director, Bob Daly, our public service director, and also Betsy Duaney, a commercial producer. Keith, production department, what exactly does the production department do?
I don't know. What do we do, guys? Produce commercials, promotions, anything that you see on air that's produced locally is produced by someone within our department.
And that's both commercials and public service things, Bob?
Public service, all the PSAs you see. Right now we're involved in Christmas in October. I also provide station tours, and I deal with a lot of school groups in public service.
Basically, Betsy and I are slaves to Courtney Galuso and Gary Oshiak. That's pretty much what we do.
Slaves. Who's Courtney and Gary?
You can tell Betsy hasn't been with us all that long. She may not be with us all that much longer either. Time now to continue our tour. Some of the guts of the station. Now we'll show you some of the glamour or at least where we work. This is the newsroom at TV 31. Here's my little cubicle back here, some of our weather instruments and such. All of our reporters have their own little stations back here, and then some of the editing facilities are farther back. See a lot of TVs around as well, as you can well imagine. Let's come on in now, and News Director Bruce Lyons, who's working on a story. Bruce, if we can interrupt you for just a moment here. A couple of questions. Bruce, as the news director, maybe you can just give folks a quick overview of exactly what that entails.
Assignments, choosing the stories that people watch at night, actually going out and reporting, doing the videography, and presenting the news to people at night, at least at 6 o'clock.
Bruce, I know one of the things you stress around here in the newsroom is that we're not a Boston, not a New York, not a Burlington. We really need to concentrate on what happens in the Connecticut River Valley.
Right. Most people tune us in to find out what's happening locally, what's happening in the Mideast or Somalia or New York City or Boston. Most people realize we're not going to give them that news as far as finding a new landfill site or crimes or various other social or economic issues. That's what we try to do. That's what we feel our job is.
Bruce, thanks very much. Time now to go on and see some other spots here at TV 31. You know, I don't think it would be a generality to say that at anybody's place of business, there's someone or something that you just don't understand in the least. And if the TV capacity, that's certainly our engineering department. Stu Boughton, Roger Rosendahl, and Bill Harp, who's here with us today. Bill, it looks like a mass of wires and things to the uneducated. And I guess in your time in the television industry here at TV 31, there's been a lot of change. One of them has got to be just size-wise. Things used to be huge, and now you can carry everything around on your back.
Yep, that's right. Things have gotten a lot smaller, a lot lighter. Makes it a little easier for our photogs. One of the things that's changed is cameras have gone from the old tube-type cameras to what they call CCDs. Even the consumer grade are now CCDs. And it makes a lot of difference for the people going out and getting news.
Seems like we've had just a lot of changes on the technical side in just the last couple of years in the industry. Bill, that's something that's going to continue. We might come back 15 years from now and look at the equipment we have and say, boy, dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's right. Everything is getting smaller and smaller, you know, harder to work on. Instead of just changing a part, you end up changing whole boards, and so it kind of changes the way we work on things.
Well, Bill, we'll let you get back to what you guys do best and what we have no idea what's going on in here with the engineering department. We'll go back and talk with some of the folks in Master Control. And as we come out of our engineering department with everything that might be being built or being new, we come into another mass of technology, and that's our Master Control operation. If TV 31 is on the air, there's someone sitting in this seat, and today it's John. And John, again, a mass of buttons and gauges and everything. You sit here, and a lot of people would say, you just watch TV. You really are the heart of the station. If you miss something, people at home don't see anything.
That's right. And it's not watching TV, it's monitoring TV. I don't get to watch it at all. I can be running a commercial, whereas I can be running a news feed, also talking to someone on the phone, taking in a live feed, and also Q-toning a tape or whatever needs to be done.
Okay, thanks, John. And now, from the craze to the craziness, let's head into our control room and see what happens. Right in the middle of the 6 o'clock news, we'll come in and see exactly who we can find in here. We have Mark Maxon, who's our character generator operator, our Chiron machine, and also Derek Rich, who is our director. As I said, right in the middle of the news. Let's see if we can just break in here for a second. Now, Mark, you're running the what looks like a typewriter, a character generation machine. Anything that comes up in print on the screen, that's what you're responsible for.
Yeah, that's correct. We can bring up full-page scoreboards or just regular names.
And all the different colors and such. Anything that's looked like it would have been typed on the screen, that's your job.
That's correct.
And it all has to be put in before the news actually starts, or can you do it as it's going along?
Sometimes you get things that are a little late, and you just have to hurry up and put them in as they go.
And now Derek Rich, our director. Derek, you've got like 5 or 6 videotape sources and satellite sources and cameras, and with this board, it's your job to get it all in line and put on the air in the proper order, right?
It's my job to get it up
kid.
Okay, and there's Bruce now.
Bruce right now.
Right. So you're talking to the camera people right now, even as we speak.
Talking to all the tech people, my audio people, my tape rollers, my Chiron, and I'm actually talking to the anchors and their IFBs. They can hear everything I can say.
Right. The small earpiece that the anchors wear, you can talk to them directly even while they're talking.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you should be telling Bruce that. Well, if I look at the time, I'm up next.
Actually, you're up in 12 seconds.
Oh, hold on.
Thanks, Tom. And a special thanks to all those people who really do make it all happen. Well, stay with us as we take a peek into the future. We'll be right back.
A little wet out there today. Hello, I'm Darlene McCarthy, and this is what our forecast looks like. Expect some light snow mixed with freezing rain. Temperatures around 40 degrees. For tonight, it'll remain mild, 35 to 40. It'll still be rainy, though. Rainy weather continues into tomorrow. Temperatures around 50. Wow, I don't know what to say now. Hello, I'm Darlene McCarthy from Channel 7 in Boston. It has been quite some time since I was at Channel 31, but I want to tell you all how much I appreciate being part of this tribute to the station because of a couple of very good reasons. First of all, Channel 31 was the only station brave enough to give me my first job in TV. Secondly, because of my employment there, I was able to see two of the prettiest states in the Union, New Hampshire and Vermont, just like a tourist would. Thirdly, I made a lot of good friends at Channel 31, friends that I still miss. That's a reminder to you folks. So, congratulations to everyone at Channel 31, and best of luck in the future.
Welcome back. For its entire 15 years, WNNE TV has been bringing you the finest in NBC shows. Our new season promises to continue the tradition of fine NBC entertainment, from drama to comedy, sports to specials.
How are you? Was a time when we could share a special place where people care. Now that time has come again for family and old friends, 'cause the stars are back on NBC.
Where's my dressing room?
Fresh Prince is back. Oh, Seinfeld's back. Ooh, yeah. Bill Cosby's back on NBC now. Yeah, the fun is back. Oh, the action's back. Yeah, the stars are back on NBC. Just watch us now, you'll see. This is the only place to be. The stars are back on
The fun is back.
He's back. I'm impressed. The stars are back on NBC.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I never left. Where's my dressing room?
The stars are back on NBC. It's the only place to be. The stars are back for you and me.
Hey, what time is it?
The stars are back on NBC.
Party time.
Thank you for joining us tonight. From all of us at WNNE TV 31, and from all the dedicated people who began their careers in television here over the past 15 years, we look forward to continuing to serve the communities of the Upper Valley into the next century. Good night.